Do you think it's possible for you to keep an extra $100 in your pocket this upcoming month? Hmm. Let's talk about this back in a minute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, this is Jan. I truly love helping people keep more of their own hard earned money. That's why I have this show and this channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. And you are listening to the Let's Save Money show. How you doing today? As always, I hope that this audio video finds everybody doing well. There are ways and there are ways and easy ways at that we can keep that extra $100 in our pocket or put it towards our budget or put it towards a savings goal or for whatever the reason that works for you. Now, some people may say, he, ha, 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 what's 25 bucks? Well, to the person that doesn't have it or not used to saving anything, it might just be the world for them. So I'm a saving money channel, and I call myself this. I put folks on training wheels. Okay. My channel is about training wheel savings, not earth shattering savings, but it can add up over time. It's the idea of let's get to save. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me demonstrate to you an actual way that I've literally saved a ton of money by making one simple swap out. This is at the grocery store. Now, I was finding myself buying expensive, leaner cuts of ground beef that cost an arm and a leg, a ton by the pound. And I said, why am I paying more for something that's giving me less? I thought about that. I said, well, I do like the idea of the ground beef or the ground meat to work with. So, okay, Steve Young 74 at the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel has encouraged me for years to try ground turkey. I kept dismissing it. And I said, you know what? I am going to give it a whirl this time around. And so a few months ago, I fell in love with ground turkey. And it really is you could work with it just like you're working a hamburger or a meatloaf or to make your own crumbles. It does the same trick. Here's the difference. It's still nice and lean, but the cost is a lot less. And you can do a lot of things. Just have to doctor it up with flavor. It's sort of like working with a blank canvas. It doesn't really have much of a flavor on its own. But if you work with like putting one egg in it, adding your favorite seasonings to it, or making some gravy, you could really make it work for you. That alone has cut my meat bill down significantly. I'm telling you, I really mean it. Give it a whirl. If you don't try it, you'll never know. So you never know unless you try. So it's a strong suggestion. You don't like it? All right. Then maybe somebody else in your family might. Give it a whirl. Or you could try someone else's and see if you like it without even paying for it. There you go. All right. Let me see. Oh, all right. Don't just divide up your meat to do one thing. Like if you buy whatever meat, okay, do different things with the same pack of meat so that you're not bored. Okay, like sometimes you just cut up like and fry it up as a fillet, whatever the type of meat it is. The next day, maybe you could put it into smaller slices and do a stir fry, doctor it up with a lot of veggies and onions, whatever. Another time, you put little bits of it with little bits of gravy and make that gravy from scratch. You know where I'm going with this. Ladle it over a nice bun or some toasted up white bread and make yourself a nice open faced sandwich. Three different things I just mentioned you could do with the same pack of meat. You are stretching your meat budget. Anytime you stretch your meat budget, that is a guaranteed savings in your pocket. I'm just saying, no denial here either. No denial whatsoever. You're getting food and it's delicious too. Chicken quarters. I have found in my own experience to purchase, the chicken leg and thigh together, very inexpensive. You get to do a lot of stuff with it. Namely, you can make a really good chicken soup with it. Get a lot of meat that falls off that bone. You take it off. The bones and the skin makes for a great future stock. You can always keep it. Nothing goes to waste, and this is something you could seriously save money on. Add your favorite veggies to it. Add noodles or slash rice. You got yourself a whole big old pot of really good quality chicken soup on the cheap. Just saying, just saying. Don't be so fast throwing away bottles of dish liquid or shampoos. Many times I've actually seen people be extremely wasteful. They don't realize that they're grabbing their, let's say, bottle of dish liquid. And I still see enough there, like about a like almost like just short of less than a third of the bottle, and they're ready to toss it because it looks, let's say, 70% empty, and they can't handle it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I would probably be able to get another 2 weeks out of it, but that's me. I like to, when I squeeze out my bottle of dish liquid, I count in the back of my mind. For example, I have another empty bottle of which I add my own water to, and what I do is I fill it up with a few drops of the liquid, the good quality one. It really, really lasts. Listen, I don't like throwing my money away in the garbage can, but I guess some people don't realize that that is precisely what they are doing. They do not realize it, and that's, it's a shame. It really, really is. Okay, totally invest in a simple water pitcher. I cannot tell you how many times there are new people here, and if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I used to buy bottles and bottles and bottles of water. Don't get me wrong, make sure that you have a couple of cases of water for, God forbid, of an emergency situation. Okay, get the jug. They're usually a lot cheaper than the individual bottles, but anyway, look into it and get the best possible price. However, for the mainstay, I was using bottles and bottles of water all the time, like daily, constantly. No, 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 no. Very expensive, because last year I sat down, I said, I do not like how much I am spending a year on that item. And by the way, while we're on that subject, get into the habit, if you've not done so already. Ask yourself, how much do I spend a year on X number of items? How much, for example, do you spend on water a year? Maybe you don't know. You would be astonished and amazed sometimes to think, I spend that much money per year on bottled water. And there are ways you could correct that problem. And we could just devote a whole show into that. And, we'll talk about that again one day in the future. There are past videos that I have touched upon that subject. Next, keep ramen noodle packages available. For example, let's just say you're using the noodles, okay, for whatever recipe. You don't want to use the package at that juncture. Keep like a jar and just like throw those little packages in as you go along if you're not using it. They come in handy. They make for great seasonings. You could include it in a homemade rub. You could put it in plain breadcrumb and coat your chicken with it, or if you just want a couple of like bouillon or as a base for a recipe or for a sauce. Do not throw those out. They're very flavorful. They're a little bit on the salty side, but you could use less of it. Just keep them. You never know. Also, when you make rice, like if you have plain rice, they make a good flavoring for the rice. I'm just saying, these are little things that can add up. You might not think so, but they are adding up as we go along. Also, consider skipping outside coffee for an entire week, or if you really, really, really can't stand that thought, at least start to cut down by just skipping one or two sessions at those type of coffee places like that or whatever. It all adds up. It could add up to a lot of money by the end of the month. Try it on a per week basis and see what happens. You would be shocked and amazed at yourself how much you could save. I said $25, but trust me, it could be saving a lot more than that.